Hey there, this is Therese Skelly, and I am so excited that you are going to be listening to an episode of the Fiercely Brilliant podcast. Do you like those two words? Fiercely Brilliant. My hypothesis is that you are here for a reason. We all are. Our souls have led us on journeys that have very often taken some twists and turns, and sometimes it's not pretty. Sometimes there's struggle and there's loss and there's challenge, and in the middle of that, there's always a way out. And it's those times that often lead us into our great life and work. So you're going to hear stories in these episodes of myself and other beautiful people that share the journey. They share how they got to the place where they're standing, working in their brilliance, and being the powerful leaders that they are. So stay tuned and enjoy this episode. Hey, love. So I want to do an episode today in the Fiercely Brilliant podcast on basically how to run a business by listening to your energy and sometimes violating all the marketing rules and how good that can be. All right. So here's the deal. I've always wanted to have a membership site. I remember probably 10 years ago talking to somebody, and they said, oh, you can't start a membership until you have thousands of subscribers on your email list. All right, fine. And then it was like, membership, they're popular, then they weren't. And so it's just been niggling, right? It's just been niggling. What you should know is that last year was a really hard year for me. I've talked about that a little bit. Last year, there was a period about 5 months where I didn't even do any marketing because I had COVID really severely. My dog had been killed. My son had a lot of mental health problems. And then to top it off, I ended up having the injury and the surgery in my hand. So I took about 5 months where I'm like, fuck it. I guess I'm just not really working. So I didn't do a lot of marketing. I always did my podcast. You might have gotten a few emails, but I pretty much stepped back. So this year, 2022, I now have a marketing guy, a dude. I have a guy, right? And so as we're building all the things, now it's really cool because I have the divine masculine. I have this man helping me create the funnels and all the segmented, all the things, right? And I know that stuff, but I don't want to do that stuff. And it's really hard to do it for yourself. So cool that I've got a dude helping me. So I was working with the dude. His name is Justin. And I'm saying like, God, I really want to do a membership community. I really, really want to do. Now, Justin and I have been mapping out my offerings, right? So mastermind is this, private coaching is this. And then there's some new freebies. There's going to be new courses. Like we're doing all the things, right? So I'm in the middle of building all that. So I say to Justin, probably in August, like, God, I really want a membership community. And he turns to me and says, what are you waiting for? Let's just start there. How many times do we have a desire and we wait and we wait? Well, I'll do it when. I can't do it until. It's not right because. And so what was so magnificent, and I really want to share this with you. The idea was just start one. Cut the price in half. Normally it's $97. Cut the price in half. Make it $47. Get 20 people in. Just get it started. So what I did, this is really cool. And I want to give you this because you can do this, totally replicate this, okay? I did not wait till I had a sales page. I didn't even have a name. I'm like, okay, I'll do a thing. Now, thankfully, this year I had done more marketing. I had done some from trainings and webinars. I had some more visibility. There were a lot more people following me. I was bolder. I feel good this year. I feel great this year. So this year, I have contacts. I have people that I can say, you know what? I'm starting a new thing. And I'm inviting 20 founders, 20 people, women in this case, that I would love to be in this community with me. And we are going to build it. We are going to create the culture. We are going to decide how it's going to go. You want to play? I'll charge you half. It'll be half for 2 months. And then when the rest of the people come in November, it'll go up to $97. So initially it was going to be 2 calls a month. I started and I finally had a name, so along the way, I'm like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. It's called the Activate Community because I want to activate your next level business. I love that shit. I love lighting people up and activating, right? So I'm excited. I get to 20. I get started. I'm just a goofball, right? And I get the dates wrong, and I'm making all the mistakes, and I'm like, I'm in beta mode. I told you, right? So the cool part is, I want you to hear these lessons. Number one, I didn't wait until I had the website, the marketing copy, the sales page is all set with appropriate follow-up funnels and emails. I didn't even wait till I had a name. I didn't wait till I had everything organized. I acted immediately. I said, I will have, literally, my marketing guy, we're working in Trello, which is a project management software. He says, invite 20 people. That was one of my tasks. And then invite the next 20 people. Within, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, boom, I had 20 people. I'm super excited. Also, here's what I bumped into. At the stage I'm at in the business game, and this is not egoic, maybe it a little is, but I'm not trying to be egoic. We're taught, if you're a coach and you have been around a while and you got some good skill, what are you taught? Attract high ticket clients, sell high dollar items, right? And I have wrestled and wrestled and wrestled with that. That's why this is like kind of like going against the grain, breaking the rules. Because that's what everything is. Attract high paying clients, premium rates. And yet, there's a part of me, I have a heart to serve as many people as I can. And it's cool. I can say, I have books, listen to my podcast, but I want to get my hands on you, right? And so I was always conflicted, like, okay, well, if I'm charging these rates, that excludes a lot of people. And for a lot of people, that's totally fine. And in the beginning, I was really clear, like, I just have an intimacy-based business. I want to serve 20, 30 people a year. That's it. I'm good. I'll just work in small groups and private. Cool. And it's like I woke up and said, yeah, and your reach is much, much bigger. And if you get things leveraged, sky's the limit. So I had this identity crisis, right? So I'm in my Activate community. I'm loving it. Can I just tell you, I'm on freaking fire. The testimonials, the responses, the magic, because one of my, can I say geniuses, one of my skills, I'm a fabulous facilitator. I mean, I know how to create community. I know how to put people in groups, ask the questions. I mean, I'm genius at that. So when you're in my community, in my groups, oof, it's magic. It really, like, I'm very proud of that, because that is a superpower. Not everybody has that power to facilitate like I do. So I'm doing this and I'm like, oh my God, I'm loving this. And then I got really clear. And so I started saying to the women in the room, even though y'all are paying $47, I'm going to treat this as if you are paying $1,047. I'm going to hold this with such value. I'm going to invest everything I have, because it's easy at this level to say, they're paying $47. You don't have to give them that much. You don't have to, like, you can literally give them some schlock. Even my marketing guys, like, it's 47, who cares? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not rolling that way. And then I saw a colleague that was charging $15,000. And back up. I decided to add 3 calls a month, right? So we have 2 mastermind calls, and the masterminds are one person has a hot seat, then we go into breakout rooms. And so everybody gets all the coaching, everybody gets the benefit, everybody gets to contribute. And it's like massive learning. And then we have one business training, or like I teach on messaging or on selling or on owning your value. Like it's like we got to learn the business things as well. And so I have to see this colleague that I totally respect, and she's charging $1,500 a month for the same thing that I'm charging $97 for. And I had a moment of like, oh shit, wait. And then basically I was reminded, no, she also has maybe a little bit more a couple little private coaching sessions and maybe a retreat or 2. So I don't want to, it's not exactly an apples to apples comparison. It's like an apples to like, it's 2 just different kinds of apples, and one's a little fancier apple. I had a moment of like, shit, am I on the wrong path? Because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to go for high ticket, right? We're supposed to, I'm seasoned. I've been in this industry 20 years. I got game. I'm supposed to And then I go to my soul and I basically say, what is lighting you up? Because I also know what it takes to enroll 10 clients in a $1,500 a month. Like that could be a very expensive enrollment process. That's laborious potentially, right? And you serve 10 people. Whereas with my community, the way it's leveraged, the way I can set it up, I could serve 50 people. And the ripple effect is going to be tremendous. And also, I know those people, I say, hey, I want to have a retreat and come to Scottsdale. We're going to do a retreat. Boom. Because they're already excited about me. They already love the engagement. They'll find the money. So they're not just going to be, they're not paying 97 or 47 now, but I know cultivating this kind of beautiful community, I'll have a boatload more revenue from it. But it was an interesting, like, oh God, am I doing something wrong? Like, what would my peers say if they heard that I was only charging 97, right? Because I charge a couple grand for my private coaching, and then I've got mastermind prices that are higher, as what, smaller masterminds, more intimate. So the message here is, what rules are you listening to? Because when there is this elitist thing in our industry, like, well, any coach worth her salt has to be charging this. You're viewed as like deficient if you have like, really, you're only charging 97. And when you do a lower level offer, are you giving it your all? Are you holding it with the same regard as if you did a high value offer? And I just have to tell you, like, this has been really radical for me. Like, holy shit, I've changed. Because again, my model before was, I love intimacy. I want a small group, just a small number of people, and I'll charge prices to have a 6-figure business. And now it's as if my soul woke up, and it's like, sister, oh, no. You're gonna help people. You're gonna take more people farther. So here's one vehicle. Now, one would say, how do you message for both? How do you message to, the people that are making multiple 6 figures, that know they're in their own way and they just need you to, unblock them and move them into that next level, and the newer business owner that is so close and is also in her own way? How do you message that? The gurus, the messaging masters would say that I'm shooting myself in the foot. Now, why am I telling you this? Because many of you are feeling the same thing. Many of you are like, do I have to pick? It's not like I'm, working with this beautiful Activate community and then selling insurance on the side. Basically, it's the same problem. It's literally the same problem. And we have one woman in the Activate community that makes $20,000, $30,000 a month. She loves it. She's not sitting here going, oh, Jesus, you people aren't making enough. She contributes. She's getting value. It doesn't have to be like a cutoff of income. And so there's all the rules that we are taught. And in some ways, it's good to know the formulas. And you want to go, oh, this is what marketing is. Oh, this is how you're supposed to do it. And then you learn it and you're like, how does that feel to me? Is that constricting? Is that putting me in a box? Is that making me limit my scope? Is that making me be something I don't really want to be? And sometimes, like me, you just wake up and go, well, shit, things are different now. Like, the world needs more of us being on our game. The world needs more of us shining and being bold and selling our work and generating money and helping the economy. Why would I not? If I can get you in my community and in 6 months you're like rocking it and making your money because you're more clear, why in the world would I be like, oh, but I'm not charging enough, I don't feel good about it? No. Now, you might be sitting here going, I'd be so pissed off if I did 3 groups a month for 97. So don't do it. Don't do it. That's the thing, right? I'm not saying I rail against anybody saying this is the formula with a capital F. This is the truth with a capital T. Don't hear me say that. I'm saying I cut my teeth on the marketing rules. I've been in this industry for almost 20 years. I cut my teeth. I know it. I've taught this. I've lived it. And then I woke up and said, I'm not playing by those rules. What I love is how alive I feel. I love like the energy, right? So for example, the other thing in my business, so this is kind of like, hey, here's a thing, and there's some changes. So a couple of years ago, I started the Fiercely Brilliant podcast. I started it, probably right around the COVID. And I was so sick and I had no energy. Life was so hard back then. All I could do was show up and do an interview. And it's easy to do an interview, at least for me. Didn't have to do much. I had hardly any clients. I didn't really do anything. But I interviewed and I made some amazing connections. I really enjoyed all the podcasts. And I'm done now. I'm done interviewing experts. Now, maybe not permanently. It's just all of a sudden, like, so this new community, the Activate community, is like up, it's hot. I'm like, oh my God, so much energy for that. And then I look at the Fiercely Brilliant podcast and I'm like, I don't want to do it in the way that I have been doing it. So, because again, the energy, like, it's like, nah, I need to focus on my stuff. I want to focus on my projects. I've loved interviewing the experts. I've had so much fun. And I think we've delivered really good content and quality and have wonderful, beautiful new connections. But I don't want to do it that way anymore. So in terms of the podcast moving forward, I think there's a couple extra interviews you're going to get that are, they're still in the queue. You'll get a couple extra interviews. I'm going to just be doing my own interviews. I'm just going to be sharing this. I'm just going to be sharing my own wisdom. And occasionally I'm going to partner with a colleague and go, oh, we're going to do a little series on this. And it's not going to be one person interviewing the others. It's going to be two people just dishing conversation, just dishing the good, just like giving some really positive, powerful tools and being in a conversation. So there's two things that is like, I'm making decisions not based on income, not based on ROI, solely based on where is the energy? Is it really alive and vibrant, or does it feel like, nope, it's done? And I have to tell you, I actually had somebody on the books. I had a podcast guest scheduled. We had our pre-call and I felt bad, but I just wrote her back. I said, and we had her session booked. She was booked. And I just wrote back and said, I'm not doing any more interviews anymore. And she was like, oh my God, I was looking forward to it. I'm like, yeah, it's done. Now I could have, out of obligation, I could have said, oh, it's on the books. It's only a half hour. And I was like, no, honor. This season is closing. That doesn't mean I'm not doing podcasts, because I am. But the message of this episode is, are you honoring your knowing? Are you trusting that you follow the guidance? Now, on one hand, I should be here saying, you can work with me for $2,000 a month, and I want 20 of you working with me, and I'm going to just push the shit out of that. What am I pushing these days? A freaking $97 a month program. That's what I'm pushing. Knowing that I'll get the $2,000 a month clients as well. And I'm just trusting. That's the wild part here, right? So I'm like, I got two groups. I've got the $97 mastermind, and I've got the $750 a month mastermind that includes a little private coaching. It's a small group. So instead of 30 or 40 or 50, you get 5. Right? It's you get much more work, right? That's what I'm selling, because I'm guided. Everything wants to be leveraged. This is what I'm selling. And so I'm trusting that where my energy is big, where it feels vibrant, if I just move in that direction, everything will be provided. And I have to tell you, it's been a really cool experiment for the women in my community. Because what are we taught? It has to be perfect. You can't roll it out unless it's complete and you have all the ducks in a row and I's dotted and T's crossed and all the things, right? So at every turn, I modeled, and I have been modeling for my community. Do you notice there's no sales page? Did you notice you didn't get an email? I just messaged you and said, I have a thing and I would love you to participate. And I filled it. And I continue to add people every day. I add new people. Almost every selling conversation, I'm like, hey, I got this. Okay, sure. It's so easy to sell. It's a crazy deal, right? But I want to model that you don't have to wait. And at some point, I'm going to have a sales page. I think this week I'll start writing a darn sales page, because why not? But I don't have to. I've actually filled retreats with no sales page, not even knowing the theme. And eventually I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's the theme, right? You can do that, because it's two things. It's energy and connection. And if my energy is so freaking high and so vibrant, and I'm so convicted, and I know unequivocally, like, this shit that you're getting for 97, other people are selling this for 1,000. Yeah, right. And I know what I bring, and I know, like, ooh, I'm convicted. I understand the transformation. I understand what you're going to get. I hear the testimonials. That is hot. It's the energy, right? What was the other word I said? The connection and the energy, right? And so my energy is so high because it's like, wow, this is awesome. And the connections that I have, that I have been, this is when you work hard on Facebook to comment on people's posts, when you check on them, hey, I saw your dog died. I'm so sorry. What's going on with you? Like, there's one woman in the community. She had an injury. She had some injuries. And all I never tried to sell her for probably 3 months. Oh my gosh, I heard about your injury. Just want to see how you are. Checking on you. How are you feeling? Like, I cultivated these relationships, not with, I have a program, I want to sell you. Do you have money? Give me money. Like, I didn't do that at all. I lead very relationally. And so then when I do have an ask, I have a thing. Oh my God, of course. Boom, super easy. So the lessons are follow the energy and create the connections. I was able to fill this. This is creating, at this point, just starting, it's creating thousands of dollars a month in income with not a single sales page or email. Now I'm just starting to talk about it here and on social media. It's kind of, now I'm moving it into form where I will be promoting it, but I didn't have to do it that way. I want to show you another way, because in our industry, there are like, you have to have a 10K program. You have to do this. My personal, like, want to throw up in my mouth is, I want to charge them more and give them less. The first time a mentor said that to me, like 10 years ago, I remember just like, that didn't feel right to me. Now, for maybe some, that's great. Maybe some, it's like, you're just going to get my baby coaches and you're going to get my licensed trainers. Yay for you. That is not my version of doing the work in the world. That's not it, right? And so I am trying to figure out a way, how do I give you more and you get more and you pay a price that is a steal and we both feel good about it, because I know I'm going to be rewarded over here and I know you're going to buy more stuff as I sell it. And so I had to get right with that. And I had to let a lot of the, like, wow, I was talking to a colleague that's been in the industry as long as I have. And I'm like, I have some, like, what are people going to think? Like, if they know that I'm charging 97 and giving 3 calls away, because in the old days, 97 for 1 call, boom, right? I'm giving 3 hour-and-a-half intense calls. I'm in the Facebook group all the time. I'm like really engaged. And there's no part of me that's like, shit, I'm overgiving. There's every part of me that's like, yes, we're doing it. I'm creating a community that is worthy of people joining and going, oh my God, oh, this is different than anything, right? So I know I'm kind of preaching here, but I want you to hear it can work for you however you want it to work for you. Take the marketing guidelines, take what works, and leave the rest. And just because so-and-so says, well, any coach worth their salt is, you can tell how much they own their value by their rates. Okay. One time, there's a very trusted, beloved colleague of mine. And a few years ago, she reached out. She said, I think I could help you. Like, I can see you're kind of in transition. And I, this was probably 4 years ago. And so we had a conversation and she said, what do you want? I said, well, I don't want long-term and I don't want a group. And she said, okay, well, I have a mastermind group for 9 months and it's $18,000. And I'm like, okay. She goes, or you could work with me privately for 30,000. And I just started laughing. And she proceeded to tell me that I didn't own my value because I'm not willing to pay 30,000. And I remember feeling like, this isn't me not owning my value. This is me. I don't value that. I wouldn't spend for 6 months to work with anybody. 30,000. Like, I just don't value that. I wouldn't do it. So I'm not going to charge it. I'm not going to pay it. And so it's one thing to have, I should. And there are people that like, I want to have a 50, 60,000, 70,000 offer. I've coached people saying, rock it, go. If that's yours to do, fucking sell it. And I can get all behind that. I can absolutely help those people for whom it's theirs to do. But if it's not yours to do, I don't want you to take on any shame because the industry says, well, you're not worthy unless you desire this, unless you shoot for this, unless you play the same game we all are. What if you just want to help a lot of people? What if you just want to make it affordable? What if what if you don't need a fucking empire? What if you need, 10 grand a month? That's perfectly acceptable as well, right? And so this is really just a permission piece, like tune into your own energy, turn out the noise. What do you have capacity for? FYI. I also that's one thing I forgot. I had to move into like, whoa, oh shit. Like right now I have the capacity to hold like this many people. Will I have the capacity when the community grows and I have 50 people in it? When I have 2 other mastermind groups, will I have the capacity? Now I have to trust that if I have the desire, I will be given the capacity. And that means maybe letting go of some other things that are taking my energy, right? So you have to look at, does my capacity match the goal? Am I able to hold? Because the way I do the work, it's not just I show up and spend an hour. I'm like in it. When you do this emotional, this intense, this energy work, this like depth that I do, that's like lifting some heavy weights, right? And so look at yourself, like ask yourself questions right now. Truth, how many clients could I take on right now? Truth, how much energy do I have to double my business? And listen to yourself. If you're like, I'm so overwhelmed, there's going to be a party that's going to go, yeah, no more client. So you have to get really clear. Notice like, where's the block? I was just like, okay, my goal for this program is to be generating $10,000 a month from this little $97 a month program. You can do the math on that one, right? So that's the goal. And I'm like, whew. I've never had a program that had 50, 60, 80 members in it. I've had small programs because remember, I'm kind of an intimacy junkie. And I have to know and trust that if I'm getting the vision for more different containers, I can do it, right? So I just wanted to walk you through this to share some things that not everybody talks about in our industry, right? That's really important to me, to kind of pull the curtains back and say, here's all the shit they're saying, and this is the real deal, right? Like you don't have to shoot for this if it's not. Now, if it's in your soul, absolutely go. There's no judgment here. There's just, if one day you wake up and you go, I want to do it this way, if it feels resonant, go. All right. So I would be remiss if I didn't invite you to join my Activate community. So this point, in this moment when I'm recording this, there is no sales page. Maybe later when it gets finished, there will be a sales page. There will be a link to it. But if you're interested, just message me. We meet 3 days a week. I'm sorry. No, not that. We meet 3 times a month, Tuesdays at 10 Pacific, Thursdays at 10 Pacific. And so if you are interested in a fabulous community, just to really grow yourself, really feel safe, feel seen, get some business training, get support, check it out. It's magnificent. Oh, and you don't have to sign up for 6 months or 12 months. You just sign up, go when you want. There's no contract. Better yet, right? So here's what I would love. I want to hear from you. What paradigms are you breaking? What rules are you going, that doesn't apply to me anymore? Where's your energy? What's lighting you up today? Because why do a business that's just like, meh? Why do a business that's like a freaking job that you hate? No, not on my watch. Oh, hails to the no. I want you to be like, I love this stuff. That's what I want for you. That's the work I do. I want you lit up. So reach out. Let me know what that is. All right. It's been so delightful to be with you. Peace and blessings. Bye now.
Hey, this is Therese, and I'm so excited that you were with us today for another episode of the Fiercely Brilliant podcast. You know, if you are inspired to get to that brilliant place, if you heard some wisdom today that made you think, yeah, I need some help in that area, I would encourage you to have a conversation with me. Super simple. You just go to thereseskelly.com/let's connect. It's a no charge, no pressure conversation. And if I can support you to clear the blocks, to really step into that brilliance, oh my gosh, it would be a delight. And I'll be honest with you, we'll just have a great conversation and see where we can take it. Peace and blessings. Bye.